Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and welcome back in Sisters Corner. And in Sisters Corner, we have our brother Idris today, and we are discussing a lot of things about construction, building, and why and what is important for housing, buying the house, building the house, or renovating the house, structural safety we are talking about. We are talking about contractors, and we have discussed a lot of things important for like climate control as well while you build your house, and how it can affect health, human health as well, and how the old houses are affecting human health as well. And now we are going to proceed with our talk. And we'll talk with Brother Idris more in detail about his experience in building and obviously his research work. And as I have introduced him, he is working as a visiting professor in Oxford as well. Welcome again.
Thank you very much.
After the break. And I'm feeling like really happy and honored to have you in today's program, honestly.
Many thanks.
I would like to know more about your professional qualification as you're working as a visiting professor in Oxford. What are your services and how you're helping the young generation as well in their qualification, and about your experience. I would like to talk.
Yeah, basically in Oxford University we have a structural lab. We are doing some tests to the structures, like some brick tests, mortar tests. So as I said, we try to understand engineering properties of those material. So they're, for example, Young modulus and then strength as well. So graduate students are also involved in those studies. They can involve. And also we have classes, of course. The last Friday was the last day of the Hillary term in Oxford University. I did tutorial also in reinforced concrete design. So in reinforced concrete design, we try to give some information to students about reinforced concrete structures, which is not very common in the UK, but is going to be common. Many RC buildings have been started to constructed, and there are of course many in London, but not in other cities. Maybe some other city like Birmingham, like Manchester, they also have high-rise buildings. But currently it is a hot topic, like reinforced concrete buildings, RC frames. So I did tutoring in that regard. Actually, if we talk about houses in Turkey, for example, and in other developing countries, are mostly concrete. If those students are going to work in those countries, so they need to know much about RC structures. But as I said, in UK also, in HS2 projects also, there are many RC structures, so they need to know. So we do both research in masonry houses. I mean, like we call masonry houses like houses that build with mortar and bricks and wooden slabs. But in RC frames, the columns and shear walls and foundations and slabs all are made of concrete and steels. So those are two different construction technology that been carrying out in all around the world. But in the UK, as old houses are mostly made of brick, mortars, and wooden structures. So we do research on those housing technologies, and then we do the test, and we try to understand the behavior of structures by carrying out some destructive and non-destructive testing.
When we talk about like buildings in UK and structural, safety, where do you see at the moment UK housing, UK houses, like from structural perspective?
They have some of the important elements deteriorate. We know, for example, lintels and some beams are made of woods because at all times usually. So these wood structures, wood elements deteriorate during like after 20 years, 30 years because of damp issues and because of insects as well. So it's deteriorate. So it needs to be replaced. But I don't know if people are doing this or not when they're doing the renovating their houses. So, but by the regulations, by the law, it needs to be checked. If there is a lintel of wooden structures, probably it is weak, it needs to be replaced. So this is one issue. And then I see many houses, they don't have proper foundation, or they don't have foundation at all. For example, in old extension also we saw this in a current construction in Meacham, close to here, Croydon. So the extension, the old extension did not have a proper foundation, actually a very weak foundation. So this make walls very unstable. I know, so there is no shaking in the UK, but if any, for example, like deflection happen to the ground, it may happen. So any deterioration in the ground, so will make the fall down of these walls. So this is a structural safety problems. So
obviously, when we talk about building, any like loft or extension, many people watching our program would like to know that we must have to have council permission for that, or where we need it, where we must have to have it, or it's okay to build without permission.
Yet, according to UK regulations, until 3 meters, you don't need to have a permission. But people, they don't understand this correctly, because they say, okay, we don't have permission. It doesn't mean you don't have to let the council know, or you don't have to book a building control. You don't have to wait for the permission, but you need to prepare all the projects, submit to the council, not for permission, but council needs to approve those projects in terms of proper detailing. If a human is going to live there, so it should to be it must meet basic criteria. For the walls needs to be cavity walls with proper insulation, and it needs to be damp-proofed, foundation, walls, and all the floor needs to be damp-proof, and it needs to have a proper roof. For example, there are two kinds of roofs, we say, like a warm roof and a cold roof, and they have many details. So those details need to be projected first. If the council approves these projects, the second step, you need to book a building control. You need to work with a building control, either from council or private one. And then, before starting the construction, you need to give notice to the council that we are going to start the construction. So you shouldn't start without this notice and having a building control. But if you have, for example, if you want to have like more than 3 meter extension, so you need to apply for permission also first. If you get the permission, you may not get the permission. So the council will do research. If your proposal is like okay, if they have any concern, they will let you know. They may reject it, and then you need to do another applications. And for the loft also, you don't need to wait for the permission. The same, up to 3 meter for extension, both vertical extension, and we say both horizontal and vertical. Vertical one is dormer, loft, and horizontal one is up to 3 meter extension. You don't need to permission wait 2-3 months, but you need to have your proper projects. And for dormer also, you need to have building notice. And then you let the council, you have a building controller, you let the council that you are going to start the construction, and then at important stages, you need to give notice to the building control, so they come and control. If there are some mistakes, they prepare the report and then tell you about the mistakes and needs to be corrected. Okay.
Very actually informative things you are telling us, and I hope all the viewers are enjoying the program. And obviously, when we talk about insulation, especially in current houses or the old houses, we, especially if I talk about me, I don't have any idea honestly, and many people would like to know about what kind of insulation is important or what it should be. Would you like to tell us briefly about insulation in the houses?
Yeah. So insulation in our houses, we have foundation, we have walls, exterior walls, and we have roof.
Yeah.
Okay. So in foundation, we can check if our foundation is like suspended floor. Probably we have damp in the wooden plates, and then wood timber maybe deteriorate. They are not very strong. So those can be replaced or can be removed. And then the floor, all the ground should be like compacted with kind of rocks, like we can say gravel. Gravel can be used and then compacted, and then a layer of sand. And then after layer of sand, you need to use damp-proof membrane for all the floor, not only walls.
Yeah.
After that, you can have 150 mil king span panels for the insulation. After this, you need to have a vapor barrier as well, so not to affect your floor. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can cover this with a concrete, a screed actually would be enough, and then you will have your flooring membrane or carpet or laminate as well. So this is for floor. And for floor also, you need to make damp-proof your wall. You need to make your wall damp-proof. So they inject some chemicals, or they cut the walls and then put through some DPMs, different kind of DPMs. And then for your exterior wall, you have windows. You need to, for example, your windows may not be very energy efficient. Maybe you need to replace it, your windows, and then the walls. The walls you can do insulated from outside or inside. If from outside you don't have like problem with appearance, so you can cover outside with 100 mil or 150 millimeters like proper insulation boards. But not only wall, you need to check your windows as well. So for roof also, you need to repair your roof so it won't be any leakage. After repairing, you need to have a proper roof, like kind of, you can use rock wall insulation, for example. And then actually, as you are doing the insulating your house, you need to have fireproof as well. For fireproof, usually they recommend double plasterboard, fireproof plasterboard, or some other measures can be done. So if you are doing these three main parts, so your house will be mostly like insulated, and your energy consumption will be much less.
Yeah. A very important actually discussion is going on, I would say again. Obviously we have talked about insulation, we have talked about energy, we have talked about construction, building material, contractors, or any council permission as well. How about like heating? Because obviously there is a new system going on as well. What would you like to tell us about when we build or renovate the house, about heating? Like what sort of heating should be or should be there in the house while considering renovating?
I see. So for heating, actually now, like the hot topic is underground heating, for especially for ground floors. But radiators, maybe boilers, is commonly used for heating. Radiators and boilers, and for ground floors, underground heating they prefer. But there are some research on like using ground source. This is basically works like this. If in the winter, okay, So it's very cold outside, right? But under the ground, if you go up to 3 meters, 4 meters, it's hot, not warm, not cold.
Oh.
So it is warm.
Yeah.
So this is a new technology. They're working on it. So how it works? You have a tank, and inside the tank you have water, and then you send this water to the underground, under your house or under, like for example, in the garden you can have this system. And as this water travels through the underground, the cold water become warm.
Oh.
So it come back to your underfloor heating.
Yeah.
So without any energy, outside energy, basically you only need a pump. So you can feed this pump with solar panels.
Wow.
You can put solar panels on your roof.
That is
and
very energy efficient as well.
a lot.
Yeah.
No energy,
Yeah.
basically. You will use underground
Yeah.
sources. This is a new topic. It needs more research, but people can try this as well, I believe.
Yeah. When we talk about loft extension and what sort of things we should be having on place before thinking for loft conversion?
We should think about first, I believe, structural safety, because you are, especially for the loft. For extension, you have 3 meter extensions, but you have new foundation for your extensions.
Yeah.
You are not increasing the loft of the house.
Yeah.
But for the dormer, you are adding a big studio there. So a lot of extra loads will come to the house. So you need to check if the foundation is okay. And you need to check if the walls, existing walls are okay. So you need to, I believe, you need to both retrofit the walls, the ones that is going to carry the loft, and you need to retrofit the foundation as well. So you need to be very careful about this. Otherwise, in the future, maybe not sooner, maybe in maybe a few months or maybe after 2-3 years, you may experience some cracks and some deflections in your house. So you spend a lot of money. So you need to spend much more money to retrofit your house.
Yeah.
So people should consider this. Actually, we know that all houses in the UK are like old, not healthy, and not functional also. Rooms are very, very like tiny, so small. So it doesn't meet the current modern life, you know.
Yeah.
So we have
true.
kids have a lot of toys, and then we have like many books or things. So you cannot easily travel inside the house. It's very tiny. So you need much larger spaces.
Yeah.
That's why we remove the walls. So when we remove these walls, we are affecting this lateral structural stability of the house and vertical load distributions, everything. So it needs to be considered carefully. But we need to do this kind of renovation, especially after the COVID. People are starting working as a home office. So you cannot find like a permanent worker.
Yeah.
So every day he will come to the job. So always they ask for 2-3 days working from home.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe.
I think people are used to Brother Idris working from home in the comfort zone. It was nice discussion today about all the construction, and I would like to say thank you very much for coming in today's program. And if you want to say anything to the viewers, you're most welcome to. Then I can.
So I can say I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome.
It is a different experience for me. So I have been in the TV channels many times, but the first time in the UK actually. So I'm very interested in UK housing, and then I strongly recommend people to get more healthier, more comfort houses.
Yes, and with this line of Brother Idris, that is very important for you to live in a healthy environment. Healthy environment is only possible when you are living in a house where you feel safe. And to be safe, you have to make sure that safety measures are on place.
Yeah.
With this, I would like to say thank you for watching today's program, and I will see you again another week with another topic, with another lovely guest. Till that, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.